If you're 60 plus, listen closely. This is critical. The shower you take every morning might be refreshing you or quietly destroying your skin. After 60, your skin changes. Your natural oils drop, your barrier gets thinner, and suddenly the things you've done your whole life, the temperature, the timing, even the way the water hits your skin, start to matter in ways nobody ever warned you about. For years, patients have come to me with the same agonizing struggle: paper-thin skin, severe dryness, unbearable night itch, brittle hair, redness appearing out of nowhere. The shocking reality? Most often it wasn't caused by disease, it was caused by the water and dangerous habits repeated daily on autopilot. Medical science confirms a harsh reality. When you are over 60, tiny shower errors drain vital moisture overnight. They trigger rapid inflammation, leaving you waking up looking older, feeling stiffer, and far more exhausted than the night before. That's why this video is so important. I'm going to walk you through the 6 shower habits older adults should stop immediately, and how tiny changes can help your skin, your comfort, and even your sleep. Stay with me until the end, because the later habits are the ones that do the most damage. Quick question before we dive in. Where are you watching from? And do you prefer hot, warm, or cool water? Let me know below. I personally read every single answer to understand your daily habits much better. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe so you never miss the videos made especially for people over 60 who want to feel healthier, calmer, and more confident every day. Now let's begin with habit number 6, the one almost everyone does without realizing how much it affects aging. Habit number 6, standing directly under the shower head for extended periods. Here is a hidden danger most ignore, yet it remains the single most common habit silently destroying and irritating the skin of aging adults every solitary day. Standing right under the shower head, letting the full force of the water hit your face, chest, or arms for several minutes feels relaxing. But after 60, your skin changes enough that even this simple habit can work against you. As we age, our skin naturally produces fewer lipids and ceramides, the very ingredients that keep moisture locked in and irritation locked out. By your 60s, that protective layer becomes thinner and easier to strip away. When high-pressure water hits the same spot over and over, it removes those oils much faster than your skin can replace them. Not dramatically, not instantly, but slowly, subtly. The kind of subtle that shows up as overnight tightness, morning dryness, and that sudden, "Why does my skin look dull today?" moment. And here is the shock for many over 60. Modern shower heads blast water at pressures far stronger than old plumbing ever allowed. A standard shower might feel fine on your hands, but acts like a power washer on thin, fragile zones like your face, neck, and upper chest. A 2022 clinical review confirms the damage. Repeated exposure to pressurized running water, especially when hot, rapidly strips moisture from the surface and collapses your vital barrier function. So the fix isn't complicated. It's simply about changing how you stand in the shower. Turn your body slightly so the water hits your shoulders or back first and then flows down your body instead of striking your face directly. When rinsing your face, limit the exposure to just a few seconds. Use your hands to splash water upward instead of leaning directly into the stream. If your shower head has settings, choose a softer rainfall pattern rather than a strong jet. And try to move gently every 20-30 seconds so one area isn't exposed for too long. These may seem like small adjustments, but older patients constantly tell me how much calmer, smoother, and less itchy their skin feels once they make this shift. Sometimes less force is the exact kind of care aging skin needs. Quick check before habit 5. Do you stand directly under the stream, or do you move around? Let me know below. Also, tell me where you are watching from. I truly love connecting with the cities and countries in this growing community. Now get ready, because habit number 5 is something almost every woman over 60 still does without realizing how harsh it is on aging skin. Habit number 5, using bar soap on your face and neck. Here is a silent ritual most over 60 perform daily on autopilot, and it is secretly ravaging your skin barrier every single morning. Bar soap feels familiar. It feels clean. Many of us grew up using it on our whole body without a second thought. But once you're in your 60s, your skin doesn't respond the way it used to. The pH changes, moisture retention changes, sensitivity increases, and suddenly something as harmless as bar soap can lead to dryness, tightness, irritation, and that dull, rough look that seems to appear overnight. Here's what's really happening. Most bar soaps sit at a pH of 9 or 10. Your facial skin, it naturally sits closer to 5.5. That slightly acidic layer, the acid mantle, is what keeps moisture inside and harmful bacteria outside. But after 60, that protective film becomes thinner and easier to disturb, especially when natural oils decline. So when alkaline soap hits aging skin, even for a few seconds, it weakens that barrier enough to increase water loss and irritation. A 2020 systematic review on aging skin found that high pH or alkaline cleansers increase dryness and irritation, especially in older adults whose skin barrier is already weakened with age. The solution, though, is beautifully simple. Choose a creamy, fragrance-free cleanser with a pH between 5.0 and 6.0. These formulas clean without stripping your skin. Use only your fingertips. No cloth, no sponge, and wash gently for about 30 seconds. That's all you need. Be extra soft around the eyes because the skin there is the thinnest and loses elasticity the fastest. Look for ingredients that support your barrier: ceramides, glycerin, hyaluronic acid, and avoid sulfates, alcohol, or strong fragrance, which can make aging skin feel irritated and tight. Water temperature also matters more than most people realize. Lukewarm water, around 85 degrees or 29 degrees Celsius, dissolves surface oils effectively without causing redness, broken capillaries, or post-shower inflammation. After rinsing, pat your skin dry with a microfiber towel. Don't rub, just press gently and leave the skin slightly damp. That leftover moisture helps your serum or moisturizer absorb better within the first 60 seconds, which is when your skin is most receptive. Patients who make this one simple change often notice softer, calmer, more comfortable skin within a few weeks. Sometimes the smallest adjustments create the biggest improvements. Before we continue, tell me in the comments, are you still using bar soap or have you switched to a gentle cleanser? Keep it short and share where you're watching from. Now take a breath, because habit number 4 is something many people enjoy in the shower, but it's also one of the most damaging things you can do to aging skin. Habit number 4, taking long, steamy, hot showers. This one surprises almost everyone because it feels so comforting, and yet it's one of the most damaging habits for aging skin after 60. Let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, I met Linda, 72, from Portland, Oregon. Every morning, she treated herself to a long, hot, spa-like shower. 15 minutes. Steam filling the bathroom. It was her quiet joy. But over the past year, she noticed something strange. Her skin felt tight and itchy at night, her cheeks stayed red for hours, and her arms looked more fragile than before. She thought it was age, but it was the heat. Here's what hot water really does once you're in your 60s. When your skin is exposed to high temperatures for too long, it softens the lipids that hold your skin cells together. Almost like warming a candle. The hotter the water, the faster those essential oils dissolve. And because older skin already has fewer lipids and slower recovery, the barrier becomes stressed much more easily. A study in the Journal of the American Academy of Dermatology found that exposure to hot water significantly increases transepidermal water loss and triggers inflammatory pathways in aging skin, especially when showers last longer than 10 to 12 minutes. That's why people like Linda experience tightness, redness, itchiness, and a dull look afterward. It isn't because the skin is dirty or weak. It's simply reacting to prolonged heat. So what's the sweet spot? Aim for 5 to 8 minutes with water no hotter than 98 degrees, 36.5 degrees. I know that can feel cooler at first, but it's the ideal range to cleanse your skin without stripping its moisture. Many people ease into it by lowering the temperature just 1 degree every few days. And a 20-30 second cool rinse at the end, it can leave you feeling refreshed while helping your skin settle down. Linda made these exact changes, and within a few weeks her skin looked calmer, her sleep improved, and she told me, "I feel like my bathroom finally works with me, not against me." And get ready, because habit number 3 is even more common, and it damages aging skin in a completely different way. Habit number 3, aggressive towel drying and rubbing. This is the habit nobody thinks twice about until their skin starts sending signals. For decades, rubbing your skin dry with a thick towel probably felt invigorating, almost part of the routine. But once you reach your 60s, the same motion can become surprisingly harsh. Older skin loses elasticity, becomes thinner, and doesn't snap back the way it used to. So vigorous rubbing now creates more strain, more stretching, and more irritation than you might imagine. Let me paint the picture. When you drag a rough terry cloth towel across aging skin, the little loops act like tiny hooks. They pull at the surface, causing micro-stretching and small tears in the outer layer, the very layer responsible for protecting your skin from dryness and inflammation. Over time, this repetitive friction can weaken the skin structure, especially in areas already prone to sagging like the cheeks, neck, and chest. A study in the Skin Research and Technology Journal found that mechanical friction, even light friction performed repeatedly, significantly increases skin redness and barrier disruption in older adults compared to younger skin. That's why many people over 60 start noticing new dryness, unexplained irritation, or deeper fine lines around the mouth and eyes. It isn't just aging, it's often the towel. So here's the better way, and it's incredibly simple. Choose a microfiber or bamboo towel. These fabrics are softer, smoother, and designed to absorb water without the scraping action of traditional cotton loops. Instead of rubbing, press the towel gently against your skin for 2-3 seconds and lift. Let the fibers absorb the water for you. On your face, start at the center and pat outward along natural contours. On your body, pat from your outer limbs toward the heart to support healthy circulation. Another overlooked detail is towel temperature. A cold towel on warm skin can trigger a sudden tightening response, which is uncomfortable for older skin. Warming your towel in the dryer for just 3 to 5 minutes keeps the process gentle and soothing. And one more thing, keep separate towels for your face and body. Facial skin is far more delicate, and using a body towel, which carries more oils and bacteria, can lead to low-grade inflammation and clogged pores. Replace your towels every 3 uses, especially in humid bathrooms where moisture lets bacteria multiply quickly. Now, take a breath, because while friction can irritate the skin on the outside, habit number 2 creates an entirely different kind of damage, deep into the scalp and hair. Habit number 2, daily shampooing with sulfate-based products. This is the shower habit so many older adults hold on to, even though it quietly makes thinning hair, dryness, and scalp irritation worse after 60. Let me tell you about Marjorie, 68, from Tampa, Florida. For most of her life, she shampooed every single morning. It made her hair feel clean, lifted, and fresh, something she associated with confidence. But once she entered her mid-60s, her scalp began feeling tight. Her hair felt brittle at the ends, but oily at the roots. It didn't make sense to her. She thought washing more would help, but it was doing the opposite. Here's why daily shampooing becomes problematic as you age. After 60, your sebaceous glands, the glands that produce natural oils, slow down. They can produce 40–60% less sebum than they did in your younger decades. And sebum isn't just oil, it's the protective coating that keeps your scalp calm and your hair flexible. When you shampoo every day, especially with sulfate-based products, you strip away what little oil your body is still making. That forces the scalp to work harder, sometimes producing too much oil too quickly, while the hair strands themselves remain dry and fragile. Sulfates like sodium lauryl sulfate and sodium laureth sulfate create rich, satisfying foam, but they're strong detergents. They bind to proteins in the hair cuticle and can weaken a strand that is already aging, already exposed to decades of heat, sun, and styling. So what's the better way? Most people over 60 do best washing their hair 2 to 3 times per week using a sulfate-free pH-balanced cleanser. On non-shampoo days, simply rinse with lukewarm water and massage your scalp gently with your fingertips for about 60 seconds. This spreads your natural oils, boosts circulation, and keeps your scalp fresh without stripping it. Technique matters too. Dilute your shampoo with a little water in your palms before applying. Focus on the scalp, not the entire length of your hair. Use only the pads of your fingers, never the nails, and wash in gentle circles for about 30 seconds. When you rinse, let the shampoo glide through the lengths instead of scrubbing them. That's enough to clean without damage. And always avoid hot water. It opens the hair cuticle too much, allowing moisture to escape. Warm or lukewarm water keeps the cuticle smoother and protects thinning strands. Between washes, distribute oils using a boar bristle brush or place 1 drop of argan or jojoba oil on the ends to keep them soft without weighing them down. Marjorie made these changes. Within 6 weeks, her scalp felt calmer, the dryness eased, and her hair looked fuller simply because it wasn't being stripped daily. Now brace yourself, because habit number 1 is the most damaging of all, and nearly every senior still does it without realizing the long-term consequences. Habit number 1, harsh loofahs and scrubbing exfoliators. This is the habit that looks harmless, but for adults over 60, it may be the single fastest way to irritate the skin and accelerate visible aging. Many people believe scrubbing harder means cleaning better. And years ago, when your skin was thicker, oilier, and more resilient, it tolerated that roughness. But after 60, everything changes. Cell turnover slows, collagen weakens, and the barrier that once protected your skin becomes far more delicate. That means harsh scrubbing doesn't help remove dead cells. It injures the skin instead. Here's what really happens when you exfoliate aggressively at this age. The abrasive surface of loofahs, exfoliating gloves, and gritty scrubs creates tiny tears in the outer layer of the skin. Hundreds, sometimes thousands, especially along the cheeks, arms, chest, and legs. Those tiny injuries trigger inflammation, which your skin must work overtime to repair. Over time, this constant repair mode leaves the skin drier, darker, and more uneven. A study published in Clinical Cosmetic and Investigational Dermatology found that even low-grade mechanical friction increases irritation and disrupts the skin barrier significantly more in older adults than in younger individuals. That's why so many people over 60 suddenly notice age spots deepening, redness lingering for hours, or skin feeling rough even though they're exfoliating more than ever. The problem isn't the product, it's the method. So what should you do instead? Your skin already naturally exfoliates through a slow, steady process called desquamation. After 60, this process becomes uneven, which is why gentle support works better than force. If you want to exfoliate, choose a mild chemical option once or twice a week, such as low-strength lactic acid or polyhydroxy acids, PHAs. These dissolve dead cells without scraping your skin. For daily cleansing, skip rough tools. Use only your hands or an ultra-soft microfiber cloth. 10 seconds per area is enough. If you prefer a physical scrub, choose formulas with rounded jojoba beads, not walnut shells or salt crystals, which can create microcuts. And don't forget the bacteria problem. Loofahs kept in warm, damp bathrooms can collect fungi and harmful bacteria within days. When combined with the micro wounds caused by scrubbing, this becomes the perfect setup for chronic irritation. Most of my older patients see dramatic improvements within weeks of stopping harsh exfoliation. Calmer skin, softer texture, fewer flare-ups, and a more youthful glow. This is the beauty of aging skin. It responds quickly when treated gently. Making these 6 changes may feel unusual at first, as if you're doing less. But in reality, one of the strongest anti-aging steps is simply stopping the habits that slowly weaken your skin, hair, and body. When you ease away from hot water, harsh products, and rough scrubbing, your natural barriers finally get the chance to heal and rebuild themselves. If this video from Senior Health Guard helped you today, Please like it, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need this gentle reminder. And before you leave, drop a short comment. Let me know where you're watching from and which habit you're planning to change first. And if you want to keep going, the next video in this series dives even deeper into protecting your skin after 60. I can't wait to see you there.